All right, let's get right into it. For years, Apple has been asking this one huge question with the iPad. Can it actually, truly replace your laptop? Well, with the new M2-powered iPad Air, they're not just asking anymore, they're practically shouting the answer. So is this finally the one? And look, that's not just some marketing slogan. This is Apple's mission. They are genuinely trying to convince you that the laptop you're probably watching this on is a relic. But as we're about to find out, the reality is, well, it's a little more complicated than that.
In fact, even though this thing is an absolute beast, there's one specific annoyance that is a genuine, real-world frustration. We're going to get to that deal breaker in just a minute. But first, let's talk about where this iPad absolutely 100% shines. So first up, power and presence. Let's talk about what makes this thing so impressive right out of the box.
The very first thing that hits you is the size. For the first time ever, the iPad Air comes in a 13-inch model, and honestly, it is a game changer. You get this massive, gorgeous canvas for all your work, for all your movies, but it's still impossibly thin and light. It really is the best of both worlds, big enough to feel like a proper workstation, but light enough to just lounge on the couch with.
And what a canvas it is. Now, is it the crazy new tandem OLED from the super expensive Pro model? No. But let's be real, for 99% of us, that doesn't matter one bit. This liquid Retina display is vibrant, it's sharp, and it's plenty bright to use outside. For everything from browsing the web to watching Netflix, it just looks fantastic.
But the real story here, the thing that makes this an Air, is what's powering that beautiful screen. Apple didn't just stick some mobile processor in here. Nope, they dropped in the M2 chip, the very same powerhouse silicon that you'll find in their MacBook lineup.
So what does having a Mac chip in an iPad actually feel like when you're using it? I can sum it up for you in 2 words. Zero lag. Seriously. Apps just pop open instantly, swiping between things is totally fluid, you never ever feel like you're waiting for the device to catch up to you.
So what does zero lag look like in the real world? It means you can have a dozen Safari tabs open, then switch over to a complex design you're working on in Figma, then jump into editing some 4K video in LumaFusion, and then, for good measure, fire up a graphically intense game like Genshin Impact on Mac settings, and the M2 chip just yawns. It doesn't even break a sweat.
The source just nails it with this quote. The entire experience of pushing this thing to its limits is just smooth as butter. It makes everything you do feel completely effortless.
Apple also made this one small hardware tweak that makes a huge difference. They finally moved the front-facing camera to the long landscape edge. It sounds minor, right? But it means that on every video call, you're actually looking at the camera, not awkwardly off to the side. For anyone who uses their iPad for Zoom meetings or FaceTime, this is a massive, massive win.
Okay, so the hardware is clearly incredible, no question. But remember that annoyance I mentioned? Let's talk about the big compromise that's still holding this amazing piece of hardware back.
All right, so what is it? What's the one thing that can make you want to just give up on using it as a laptop?
Here it is. It's not the hardware at all, it's the software. Look, iPadOS has come a really long way, but it is still not a true desktop operating system. It's an amazing, world-class tablet OS, but the second you try to make it your full-time laptop, you start running into some walls.
And here's where those walls pop up. Real multitasking still feels a bit cramped compared to a Mac. Dragging and dropping files between different apps can be clunky, and support for external monitors, well, it still has its weird quirks. If you're a power user with a specific, complex workflow, these little things can add up to a genuine frustration.
Okay, so keeping those software limitations in mind, how does this M2 Air stack up against the brand new, ridiculously powerful M4 iPad Pro? Well, this is where the Air really reveals itself as the smart play for pretty much everyone.
Just take a look at this. The Pro has that jaw-dropping OLED display and the futuristic M4 chip, for sure. But here's the crucial thing to understand. The Air's M2 chip is already complete overkill for what most people do on an iPad. And that puts the Air right in the absolute sweet spot for value. You get way more power than you'll probably ever need without that premium Pro price tag. Let's just boil this whole value conversation down to a single number. Just think about this for a second. 90%. What does that mean?
It means for hundreds and hundreds of dollars less than the M4 Pro, the M2 Air gives you 90% of the experience.
I mean, unless you're a professional 3D animator or you're editing Hollywood-level video projects, you simply will not feel the difference in power. That is an unbelievable deal.
All right, so let's bring it all home. What's the bottom line here? Who should actually go out and buy this thing?
You know, the recommendation here is actually pretty simple. If you want a ridiculously powerful and versatile machine for both work and play, and you love a good deal, buy it. It is the absolute sweet spot in Apple's entire lineup right now. On the other hand, if you already have an M1 iPad, the jump in performance isn't big enough to make this a must-have upgrade. And of course, if your job requires the absolute bleeding edge of performance, well, that's what the M4 Pro is for.
Honestly, the source sums it all up just perfectly. This thing is a laptop killer in disguise. Yeah, it's got a few quirks, almost all on the software side, but at the end of the day, it's highly recommended.
Which brings us right back to that first big question. With all this incredible hardware, held back just slightly by its software, is your laptop officially obsolete? You know, for more and more people, the answer is a definite yes. For everyone else, it is closer than it has ever been before. I guess the real question is, which group are you in?